The market doesn't care who you used to be. It only reacts to what you are doing right now. Many businesses once experienced explosive growth, only to collapse because of the very model they believed was invincible. Not because their product was bad, not because their team was weak, but because they failed to realize their business model had become obsolete. In a world that shifts direction every month, every week, are you still clinging to a structure that is cracking day by day? Are you sure your current model is leading you to the future, or straight to the edge of the cliff? Chapter 8 of the journey, the roadmap to market mastery, has begun, where strategic thinking starts to reach the core structure of a business. In the previous chapter, you explored entrepreneurial marketing, how founders see the market through a different lens and respond flexibly to every shift. Now is the time to step into a deeper level. Business model innovation, where not only the way you sell changes, but also the very way your business exists and grows is rewritten from scratch. Part 1. Business model, the foundation of competitive advantage. A business model is the foundational structure that defines how an organization creates, delivers, and captures value. It is not an abstract concept, but a living operational system built around customers, products, and finances. This model guides all strategic decisions, from production to sales, from value proposition to how the business survives in a competitive market. A product may be physically the same, but the perceived value can differ vastly thanks to the business model. The same kilogram of coffee can be bought in a supermarket for a few euros or as a premium capsule experience for 10 times the price. The difference doesn't come from the product itself, but from how the company packages, distributes, builds its ecosystem, and redefines consumer needs. Competing through product means competing on features, quality, and innovation speed. Competing through process means optimizing costs and operational efficiency. But competing through the business model is a different level, where companies rewrite the rules of the game and redefine the entire industry. A business model creates value that is hard to replicate because it integrates strategic thinking with interdisciplinary execution. When companies rely too heavily on product or process innovation, they easily fall into the trap of price wars and short life cycles. Only by innovating the business model can they create long-term competitive distance through systemic differentiation. That's why brands that seem to sell simple things can become the most valuable. They know how to transform the consumption process into a premium, holistic experience. The business model also acts as a shield against crises. In uncertain scenarios like pandemics, supply chain disruptions, or changes in consumer behavior, the ability to restructure the model becomes vital. Companies can't control the context, but can control their response through a suitable model. Business model innovation is a strategic action, not a random reaction. Companies need to view the model as a dynamic map. Every external change demands an internal reassessment. One cannot develop the model in the old direction in a world that has changed. The right questions must be asked continuously. How are customers changing? What values are now prioritized? Are we selling in the most appropriate way? Those who ask these questions first will lead. Business model innovation is not the privilege of big or high-tech companies. It lies in flexible approaches, keen observation, and the courage to abandon the old model when necessary. Budget doesn't determine innovation capability. The mindset to re-question value creation does. When an organization dares to rethink from the root, it is no longer limited by industry, product, or tradition. Part 2. Business model structure, the value quadrant. A solid business model revolves around 4 key elements: target customers, who; value proposition, what; value creation, how; and value capture, why. This strategic quadrant defines the entire operational logic of a business. When organizations think based on these 4 pillars, they move from emotional guesswork to building systems that can be modeled, discussed, and innovated in a directed manner. Target customers are the people the business wants to serve. Each market has customer groups with distinct needs, pain points, and expectations. The value proposition is how the business solves those problems through products, services, or solutions. Next is how the organization creates that value, including internal capabilities, technology, supply chain, and collaborative ecosystems. Finally, value capture refers to how the business earns profit, from pricing models, revenue channels, to cost structure. This is not disconnected theory. Each element is linked and directly affects the others. A change in customer demands an adjustment in the value proposition. A change in operational technology requires a change in how revenue is generated. Importantly, only when at least two of these four elements change simultaneously can we call it true business model innovation. Changing just one is merely optimization or local improvement. Example, changing the customer group alone is market expansion. Changing only the product is product innovation. But changing both target customers and monetization methods shifts the entire value structure. It is this combination of two or more changes that creates a breakthrough. Understanding this principle gives businesses the ability to focus correctly when designing or reinventing their model. Part 3. Business Model Patterns. Creative Inspiration. Innovating the business model doesn't require inventing something no one has done before. In fact, over 90% of successful models result from recombining existing patterns. Each pattern represents a proven design principle. Using patterns allows businesses to start not from scratch, but from a structured library of strategic knowledge, ready for creativity. Patterns are not complete models, but structural components that can be combined into a unique model. Examples include razor and blade, sell the main product cheap and profit from accessories, or freemium, offer basic access for free and charge for advanced features. These patterns apply across sectors: technology, FMCG, services. Their value lies in flexibility when combined with other elements. Two main approaches exist: industry similar and industry opposite. With industry similar, businesses learn from successful models in adjacent fields. With industry opposite, they deliberately apply patterns from a completely different field. This intersection creates breakthroughs. The point of using patterns is not to copy, but to challenge the limitations restraining innovation in your own industry. A strong business model often combines 2 to 4 patterns. The key is selecting according to strategic goals and operational context. For example, a business might combine a subscription model with direct distribution and data-driven personalization. These combinations help innovate not just in sales, but also in value creation, internal operations, and customer interaction. One rarely emphasized point: patterns are dynamic. They don't stand still in time. Each wave of technology, from cloud computing, AI to blockchain, births new patterns or evolves existing ones. For instance, the two-sided platform pattern once used in e-commerce is now adapted for education, healthcare, even heavy industry. Therefore, businesses must monitor the evolution of patterns like tracking market pulses. What's right today might be obsolete tomorrow. What seems novel in your sector may be standard in another. Patterns are an unlimited toolbox, but only when kept current, flexibly used, and creatively combined. Organizations mastering this skill will lead the next wave of innovation. Part 4. The Business Model Innovation Process. Business model innovation cannot rely on emotion or short-term inspiration. It requires a systematic, repeatable, and measurable process. The 4 stages: initiate, ideate, design, validate, are a concrete action roadmap for any organization wanting to build a new model. Each stage has a distinct role but is tightly connected, forming a complete innovation lifecycle. The first stage is initiation. Here, businesses review their current model using the value quadrant. Who are the customers? What is the value? How is it created? How is it monetized? This offers a clear, unified view. Next is ecosystem analysis. What tech trends are emerging? Are customer behaviors changing? Are there upcoming regulatory risks? These are drivers triggering the need for model change. Next comes ideation. Here, companies use a set of 60 patterns as creative tools. 2 selection strategies exist. 1, by industry similarity, choose patterns successful in related fields. Or 2, by industry opposition, use patterns from completely different fields to break logic. Combining both balances feasibility and disruption. In a productive ideation session, a team of 3 to 5 selects 7 to 8 patterns to explore. Each pattern is a starting point, not a solution. Don't look for the right idea, but for as many ideas as possible. The goal is quantity over quality. From 100 initial ideas, after filtering by criteria, hard to copy, high potential, aligned with internal capacity, The team selects 2 to 3 promising ones to develop into testable models. Next is the design stage. This turns ideas into business models that can be described and communicated. Companies use tools like the idea sheet, a simplified version of the business model canvas, to model the 4 core elements. They also use the reverse financial tool to preliminarily assess financial logic, where revenue comes from, what costs are involved, and whether profit is sustainable when scaled. A crucial step here is external validation. Rather than waiting until the product is perfect, companies should conduct early interviews with target customers. These focus on 2 parts. 1, problem validation. Does the need really exist? 2, solution validation. Do customers find the model idea attractive? This is known as verifying problem-solution fit, a survival phase before deeper investment. The final stage is validation deployment, following lean startup principles. Build, measure, learn. Each model assumption about customer, price, features, behavior must be turned into a testable hypothesis. Businesses use 22 testing tools like landing pages, prototypes, A/B testing to collect real data. From that, the team learns what's right, what's wrong, and what needs to change. This validation cycle repeats across phases, from confirming the problem, to confirming the solution, to confirming revenue model and operational model. Each loop reduces risk and increases model accuracy. Instead of betting big from the start, companies let real evidence drive decisions. This is a modern, controlled, and highly effective approach to innovation. Part 5. Real-world example. One of the most impressive examples of business model innovation comes from the construction industry, traditionally seen as slow to change. A cement company realized that in some cities, traffic congestion delayed material delivery to construction sites. This problem seemed beyond the supplier's control, but actually sparked a full-scale business model innovation. Instead of selling construction materials by volume as usual, the company created an entirely new model, offering turnkey road repair services, promising completion within 7 hours. The value offered was no longer cement, but solutions to reduce traffic and CO2 emissions. The target customer shifted from contractors to municipal authorities. Revenue streams changed too, charging by repaired road surface area, not by material weight. From a small technology shift, fast-drying cement, the company redefined its entire business model, from customer, value creation, to monetization method. This is clear proof that breakthrough technology isn't always needed, just the right model mindset. Business model innovation is the tool that transforms market challenges into unique competitive advantages. Part 6. The core spirit of business model innovation. Business model innovation is not a tool, but a mindset. It is the ability to re-question how value is being created. Do customers still need this? Is our distribution effective? Is our current revenue model still fit for the future? When a company dares to reset all familiar frames of reference, it opens up opportunities to reinvent its very industry. The most important factor is not technology, budget, or market share. It is the ability to reimagine the future, then courageously act to make it real. A business model is not just about making money, it's how you define your role in the customer's life. When businesses place customers at the center, the model becomes a guiding instrument, not just a structure. That is the strategic spirit of the new era. You don't need a perfect business model. You need one that dares to evolve. What in your current model is limiting your vision? What if reversed could unlock unprecedented growth? Don't let the market force you to change. Be the one who initiates it before being forced. Today's model is your compass, not your map for tomorrow. The market doesn't reward stability, but the fastest adaptability. Whoever sees the gap first leads. Whoever acts decisively survives. And redefines the game. 120 words. The journey isn't over. Let's continue with the next chapter and explore the digital marketing trends that are quietly reshaping consumer behavior, breaking old norms, and ushering in a new era of limitless marketing. Thank you for watching the whole video. Please like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next videos.